It's Saturday night,
The kids are in bed,
which means we did it. We survived another week.
so let's talk about it.
From our latest homebrew project,
To kids' crafting projects.
it's just talking life with two young kids and two dogs. Grab your favorite beverage, sit back,
Relax.
and see where the conversation takes us.
Sometimes we don't even know until we get there. This is the Craft Parenting Podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome back to this week's episode of the Craft Parenting Podcast. Thank you so much for being here. I know the week has flown by and it is once again Saturday and time to record another episode. Except it is not Saturday.
Well, the kids are in bed, so we're at least half true.
Well, okay.
This weekend was crazy.
It kind of was crazy. We're going to pretend it's Saturday.
I wish it was Saturday, because then I could sleep on Sunday.
But future Joe and Caroline, you have to go to work tomorrow, so don't sleep in. My name is Joe Ludwig, and that voice that you hear is my lovely wife and co-host, Caroline. How's it going, Caroline?
Pretty good. How you doing?
We are starting off the night great.
A little slap happy.
Oh, yes.
A little tired, but not as tired as I was like the last 3 nights. So I'm going to be doing great tomorrow when I don't get as much sleep, but it's all good. The kids are asleep, I think. At least Lily has stopped making noise. That's like half the battle.
Yeah, with her, I just put her in her pack and play, and she sits and reads a book in the dark, and eventually she falls asleep.
Well, it's cute because sometimes if you watch her, like her little head nods or like she starts to lean over to the side, you're like, oh, honey, you're tired. Lay down. And so eventually she will like lay down and go to sleep. But then she'll wake up and she'll start reading a book again, and then she'll go back to sleep. That's pretty cute.
And she is in a pack and play, not a crib.
Well, yeah, because we didn't want to buy a second crib.
We tried the toddler bed.
Yeah, she was against using the toddler bed. So we just said, okay, you're going to sleep in a pack and play in your room. Eventually we'll have to try the toddler bed again.
I think closer to when she's 2.
Yeah, maybe around her 2nd birthday is when we'll try to do that.
She's matured a lot over the last month.
She has.
Since vacation, really, which was in May.
Yeah.
And it's almost August, so I guess that was 2 months.
Almost 4 months ago. Is May, June, July, like 3 months ago. Vacation was the beginning of May. It's the end of July. If you're thinking about when this podcast is going to drop, that's mid-August.
No, I was not thinking about that, but good point.
Podcast land. Time is a construct. See previous shows for more of my thoughts on that.
We have a great show planned out for you this week. We're going to talk about our youngest child.
Human child,
or dog child, I guess.
I mean, yeah, the dogs are older. Using people years or dog years. It doesn't really matter.
Our youngest human child to date, Elliot. We're going to be talking about him because when this posts, he will be 6 months old. And that's a pretty significant milestone.
Yeah, and future Elliot is going to listen to this episode and be like, Mom, Dad, why did you describe me like that? That's the worst way to describe a person ever.
Well, he's not wrong.
Your mommy and daddy love you very much. They're just very bad with the words, unless if they have time to write everything out and read it 20 times to then edit it 30 times. That's the way this works.
But I figured we're going to be talking about Lily. We're going to have a whole episode dedicated to Lily in September.
Because she's going to turn 2.
Yes.
And she can count to 2.
In the interest of being fair and equal. I'm trying, Elliot, okay? I am trying. We're going to have an episode dedicated to you first. And almost always, the second child doesn't come first.
This is true.
It's always about the firstborn, so I'm told. As a firstborn.
I mean, I'm a first, middle, and youngest child all mushed up into one.
So we have another great show planned out for you this week, as I said before. Let's dive in and get started.
Okay, so I don't remember exactly what we did on Sunday, but I just remember being either like frustrated with everything or like it's too hot to do anything. Somehow I came to the conclusion we are ordering dinner. Everyone is going to the pool, whether you want to or not, after Lily wakes up from her nap.
Okay, well, hold the phone. Before that, we installed a TV.
Oh, yeah, we did install a TV. We did chores around the house because you guys installed a TV and I dug a bunch of clothes out of Lily's closet.
Oh, I didn't realize you did that.
Yes. I took all of the 18 months and a lot of the 24 months and 2T clothes, mostly the 24 months clothes out of Lily's closet and dresser drawers, so it would be easier to find clothes that actually fit her. I made it a priority to get that done.
I did notice that there were labels on Lily's dresser.
I did that a while ago. That was Caroline got bored with Label Maker one day. But also, I put labels on all of our dry ingredient containers. So our flour, our sugar, our powdered sugar, and our brown sugar containers are all labeled now. So it's harder for you to pick up the wrong one, or you at least have fewer excuses.
Did you put 4 labels on it? Because it's a cylinder.
I put 3 labels, one on the top and one on each side.
Ah.
So every 180 degrees, there's a label. So if you don't look at it the right way, it can be hard to see the label, but all you have to do is rotate the container and bam, label that says what it is.
Okay, that's helpful. I haven't gone up there and I haven't experienced that yet.
Yeah, I still have to put powdered sugar in the powdered sugar container and flour in the flour container, but that's not hard. I just have to remember to do it.
So then after we did the chores and installed a TV in the basement for the tenants.
Yes, the tenants now have the nicest TV in the house. It's also the smallest TV in the house.
Is it smallest?
It's either the smallest or it's the same size as the one in our bedroom.
It's a 42-inch.
Yeah, that might be the same size as what we have in our bedroom, but it's a 4K TV. It's nice. We need to get us a 4K TV somewhere.
Where are we going to put that?
I don't know.
I like our TVs. I mean, it wasn't expensive. I mean, TVs nowadays they're really thin and, God, I'm dating myself. You can get I guess if you buy like a 74-inch TV, I guess you'll break 1,000.
But that's like huge.
That's like movie theater. No, not quite movie theater, but it's pretty close.
It'd be too big for our house.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't even know what to do with that. I feel like the TV in our family room is too big. That's like a 40.
I want to say it's like, is it like 50 something? Is it a 55 inch?
I don't think we got to 50.
Oh, maybe we didn't. Maybe it's only a 48 inch.
I think it's 48. I thought that was huge.
Well, yeah, at the time it was, but now they're like super huge. But anyways, moving on. I had said that I was going to buy Mom and Larry a new TV for their living room as a housewarming present. And they put both of their TVs in storage during their whole move. And we're like, we don't know how long you guys are going to be here. So we're going to mount a TV to the wall in the basement so y'all have something to watch when you sequester yourselves to the basement and don't want to watch whatever we're watching on our TV up here.
Well, here's the thing about that. So Larry and I finished the basement last year during COVID because, surprise, Caroline is pregnant.
Hey, we needed to clean out the basement anyway.
I had zero ambition to finish a basement in a house that's older than I am. It wasn't easy.
It was not.
We had to redo some electric work.
Try all of the electric work in the basement.
But now it's good. So we finished the basement so that I could work down there. And we painted the walls and we got nice carpets down there. Not like a full carpet, just like an area rug. And I told Larry, I think I want to mount a TV on this wall, but I don't want to buy a TV yet because it was COVID and I just didn't feel like I wanted to spend the money on that because we were refinishing the basement. So we wired it so that there was a wire there, but so if we wanted to, we could mount a TV there. So last Sunday, we decided to take that wire and hook a plug to it on the wall, like in the middle of the wall, not at the bottom, like all the others. And then we mounted the TV.
Yeah, so you had a pre-run line to do a TV height plug.
Mm-hmm.
And then we made the TV height plug a thing this weekend.
Yeah, and Stephen and Hillary gave us a wall mount.
Yeah, because they were trying to sell it at their yard sale. And I said, well, hey, if nobody buys it, we'll take it because I can use it in Mom and Larry's house. And well, now we're using it in our basement.
But here's the thing about the TV that we installed and why we installed it. The tenants, your mom and Larry, are going to be living down there. And And we have 2 small kids, and they are a lot.
They are? I didn't notice.
They are a lot. This is why grandparents don't have kids of their own. It's because they already had kids. They already dealt with this.
Yeah, they're like, peace out. I done now.
They have the grandkids, and they're cute, and then they hand them back.
Yep. They're like, here, you deal with your own little children now. I sugared them up.
So in the interest of not letting anyone explode on anyone in the future, potentially, Larry and Maureen have a nice little apartment down there to escape if they want to. I mean, they technically can't escape because our house is tiny, and if there's a kid running around up here on the main floor, they're gonna hear the kid. But maybe they can turn up the volume a little bit.
And at least for now, Lily doesn't know. Well, okay, no, Lily knows how to open doors. She just doesn't have the ability to open doors yet. So they're pretty safe down there for now.
Yeah, and even if you go to a nursing home, you have your own TV.
Yeah, like we're trying to not get in trouble for like senior abuse or something like that. You need your 3 hots and a cot.
Even my grandma, she's getting up there. She's almost 100. She's at a nursing home, and she has her own TV. When I picked her up the other week, she was asking me about the remote controls and stuff. So I don't think
But she's been doing that for years.
She really has.
And in her defense, TVs have only gotten more confusing. They haven't gotten more simple.
Well, there's the remote that, Spectrum gives you for the box. And then there's the TV remote. And I can see how that's confusing.
Oh, but the most adorable thing happened after we got the TV set up because we put our Netflix and our Disney Plus accounts on that TV. So they now have access to those accounts to watch things. And Larry's looking at the remote and he's like, because there's a Netflix button, a Disney Plus button, and Amazon Prime button, and maybe a Hulu button. Because I know we had at least 3 out of the 4 services on there. And he was like, did you have them custom put these buttons on here? No. That's how TVs come nowadays. Because everyone typically has these accounts. Or at least they mooch off someone else to have those accounts.
Well, you make fun of Larry for that, but I was legitimately freaked out because we plugged the TV in and we set up the things. It's really easy. It's a smart TV, so it connects to the Wi-Fi. So I did that. And then you would think it would have static because there's no cable, there's no signal.
We hadn't attached any service to it yet.
Yeah, I didn't log into Netflix or Disney Plus or anything. But without prompting, it started playing Star Trek, The Next Generation.
Which we have recently been watching on our Netflix account.
Yes, but without doing anything, it just randomly started playing it. And it played for a good 5 minutes, and then it stopped. And it was like a promo for some app on the LG store. I was like, what? Like, I was legitimately freaked out. Like,
You literally called me on the phone.
I was like, why is this? I don't understand. Why is this playing? It wasn't like a small 30-second clip. It was like a 5-minute clip. It was an entire scene, maybe even longer than 5 minutes. I was freaked out.
Well, so we ended the day with everybody at the pool, and then Mom and Larry picked up Chipotle, and we had Chipotle for dinner. And we put the kids to bed.
Oh, that was nice.
And then we collapsed. Yeah.
And then Monday, I grilled hamburgers for dinner.
Yeah, which is why we couldn't grill this weekend, because you used all of the propane on Monday. So then that brings us to Tuesday, because Monday, not a whole lot happened other than work. I decided to be adventurous and take the children to story time at the library, because they have a thing called Movers and Shakers, and it's family friendly. Here we're going to sing some songs, we're going to read some books, we're going to move around a bunch, which for Lily mostly just means running around in circles. So she had fun. She had no idea what was going on, but she had fun. She didn't pay attention to any of the books or any of the songs, but she danced.
She's good at that, by the way.
She is. So good. And then we met the Popes there because they try to go to Movers and Shakers as well. So she got to see all her friends and run around the library with them, because we returned most of our books and picked up some new books, which are now scattered throughout the living room, and I have to find them all to make sure I know where they are. It's okay. My library card tells me what books we have out.
It was also Taco Tuesday.
It was. Whoop, whoop. Taco Tuesday.
And I decided this because we had the meat, but we didn't have any shells. So we forced your mom and Larry had to go to Hadding's and get shells.
No, we had shells. We didn't have any meat.
Oh, was it the opposite?
Yeah, because I had bought shells thinking, hey, tacos are something that are really easy to do for a lot of people. We should have the meat in the freezer. Oh, hey, we don't have any meat in the freezer. And my mom was like, I'll go buy food because we need to contribute to the household. And I was like, you really want to? Okay. So she picked up some ground beef.
They discovered Hadding's, which is a small grocery store up the street.
So we made them go out a lot this week. We sent them to Hadding's on Monday to get hamburger buns. And then on Tuesday, Mom went to Kroger because she had a coupon. I tried to convince her to go to Bridgetown Finer Meats, but she had a coupon, so she went to Kroger.
Wednesday, Lily and Elliot went to Almanopez.
Lily sang Let It Go while playing in the pool.
We got a video of this.
Yes. So her slide went into a baby pool, which was right next to a splash pad. So she had her own little water park. In Alma's defense, we're pretty sure she was trying to compete with where Lily went on Thursday. So Lily would like her house more. But also, you make Lily run around in water. You don't even have to make her run around in water. Lily runs around in water. She naps for like 3 or 4 hours. You can get some stuff done while Lily naps. It's pretty nice.
Yeah. And then you picked them up.
Yep, I picked them up.
And then we ate dinner.
I think we had separate dinners. Mom and Larry had leftovers. We had something.
I don't quite remember what we had, but then your mom offered to take Lily on a walk.
And we just said, well, let's just all go on a walk.
So we all went on a walk.
The whole house was empty for the first time in like forever. We kept Lily and Elliot in their strollers. And once we got back home, we put Elliot inside. You hung out with Elliot, getting him ready for bed. Mom had gone inside, or at least had almost gone inside with Lily.
Yeah, you were texting me, and I was like, I'm changing Elliot's diaper. Stop texting me. And you're like, is my mom in there? I'm like, no one's in here.
Well, okay, so here's what had happened. Mom and Lily had either gone in the house or almost gone in the house. So I had a memory of them going to the door to get into the library. But then I also had a memory of Mom saying, hey, we're going to go on a walk. And her and Lily walk into Timbuktu where I can't see him anymore. And I was like, did I mix up the order of memories in my head? So did Mom and Lily come back? Are Mom and Lily still gone? I haven't heard from them or seen them in a while. Joe doesn't know where they are. I'm gonna go out and try to find them by walking.
I was freaking out.
Joe says no, let's find them by car. So I get back to the house.
At 911 on speed dial.
Joe is getting the car keys, and we were about to get into the van, and then we see Mom and Lily at the top of the hill. So I go meet Mom and Lily with the stroller so we can strap Lily in. Well, it turns out that Lily has a great sense of direction and will always go away from home. So they just started walking, and Mom thought, oh, we're gonna go for 3 or 4 houses, and then Lily will start to get tired, so we'll turn around and go home. Well, anytime Mom turned Lily around, she would start going away from home again and would just like throw a fit. Hey, I don't want to go home. Mom did not have her cell phone on her. And she was like, if I had my cell phone, I would have called you like 10 minutes ago to come pick us up. And I was like, oh, great. Good to know. So we get Lily inside. Fortunately, she's really tired, so she goes to bed really easy. But now I'm concerned that Lily's going to be on some Facebook post. Hey, we found this kid wandering around Glenway Avenue. She doesn't know her name, but she says a lot of words. I mean, but if we ask her what her name is, she'll say Lily, but I don't know if she'll say that for somebody else. Does anybody know who this kid is? And it's going to be Lily, because Lily's just going to decide, I'm going to walk away from home.
Yeah, I wasn't happy about that, but everyone's safe. They're home.
It's a funny story. We'll tell it at her wedding.
Maybe.
So on Thursday, we did something super exciting. Lily and myself went to a place called Happy Hangout because Mom had said, well, I'll watch Elliot here at the house so you and Lily can enjoy your time together. And I said, sweet. So I took Lily. As of right now, you sign up for a 2-hour playtime. And I took Lily at 10 a.m. From 10 to 10:30 on Thursdays, they have story time, which Lily was not into because she was too busy playing in their little pretend village because everything is Lily sized and she had a blast. She played with the fire truck. She went to the grocery store. She went to the hair salon. She went to the vet's office. She went to Bridgetown Finest Eats, which was like a restaurant kind of place. And they had a camper.
That's hilarious.
Like, all of the names are really cute. I took a bunch of pictures.
And you're going to write a blog post.
I am in the middle of writing a blog post about this, so Joe will link to it in the show notes. So the fire truck is Queen City Fire and Rescue. The grocery store is called Riverfront Market. The restaurant is Bridgetown Finest Eats. I didn't take pictures of everything, but I'm pretty sure that like the pet store, the pet place is named after Fiona.
That's really funny.
Well, they sourced these names on their Facebook page too. Like they asked people what they should call this stuff. Oh, their produce truck is adorable. It is called Lettuce, like the green leaves, lettuce, B, period, the initial, friends. So it's Lettuce Be Friends Produce.
Lettuce Be Friends Produce.
Yes. So they have this cute little village. Lily ran around in that. They have a nice little play place, which Lily is a bit too young for, but still wanted to go play in it. So that meant I went and played in it with her because I had to help her get through some of the obstacles.
Did it bring you back to your old Chuck E. Cheese days?
Discovery Zone, which is way better than Chuck E. Cheese.
I don't think I ever went to Discovery Zone.
I feel like I went to like 4 birthday parties in a row at Discovery Zone. Like I had a lot of friends who did birthday parties at Discovery Zone. I think I had a birthday party at Discovery Zone.
It was out by the farm, right? In Eastgate?
No, it's out in Forest Fair Mall. It was out across from Forest Fair Mall. It's now, well, it was the Underground. I think is it called the Zone now? Or was it called the Zone before it was called the Underground? It changed into a band space for a while, like for like a teenage hangout.
Hooligan hangout, you mean?
Yes, but it's Christian based. I don't know what it is now, even though I drive past it every day for work. So they have 2 slides, they have some tunnels, they have different obstacles to go up and down and around, and Lily had a lot of fun in that. She didn't want to go down the slides on her own, though. She went down the slides 3 times. The first time, I went down the slide with her. The second time, she really looked like she was going to go down on her own, but she was just super hesitant about it. So Leo went down first, and I was like, see, Leo did it, you can do it. And she was still kind of hesitant about it, but she was sitting in the slide, so I just kind of shoved her down the slide.
You didn't give her a complex, did you?
She was fine.
She's fine.
She wasn't crying. I asked Leo if she looked okay, and he said, yeah, she looks fine. And then I went down the slide, and she was trying to break into where the workers are.
Pro tip about kids and slides. Don't put them on your lap.
Well, so I rode down the slide twice with her on my lap. And both times, I made sure that her legs were between my legs because she kept wanting to splay her legs out and put her feet outside of my legs. And I said, no, your legs go between my legs because the most common leg break that they see in children's hospitals is parents going down the slide with their kid and their kid's foot gets stuck under their leg and then it breaks. Like the kid's leg breaks. It's a relatively easy recovery because they're still little at that point. But yeah, keep an eye on where your kids' feet are when you go down slides with them.
Or just don't go down slides with them.
I mean, I go down. How else am I supposed to get Lily to go down slides these days? So she doesn't really like tunnel slides, which I get because she can't really see what's going on.
Oh, wow. Were there open slides there?
No.
They were all tunnel.
Well, there was like one of those, like the little slide that your mom has, the little tyke slide, and that's in the baby area. So Lily kept going to that slide. And I was like, Lily, this is for babies. You're not a baby anymore. We have to go down the big kid slide.
Well, she had a shopping cart, too.
She did. The shopping cart was the prized toy.
It's a shopping cart of terror.
It was because it was a metal pretend shopping cart. And all Lily and the other kids did with it was run around like maniacs, bumping into people. Now, if you were an adult or you were a moving child, the odds of you getting hit by Lily were very slim. But if you were a child standing still, I don't know if it was just Lily only registers movement at this point or what, but like the only people she would run into with the shopping cart were children that were not moving. Everything else she would avoid, whether by luck or her own ingenuity, I don't know. I have a video of her causing terror with the shopping cart too.
Maybe I'll post that.
Yeah. So we did have to stop halfway through to give Lily a snack because she was a cranky mess. And I was like, eat some food, you'll be happy.
She was the playground bully, right? She didn't let people go into their camper.
Well, so yeah. So she had part of her snack, and then we went back and she started playing in the camper, and she was the only one in the camper. And then these two other girls wanted to play in the camper as well. And Lily said no and tried to shove them out. And I said, okay, Lily, we have to share. And if we're not going to be nice, we have to go. And I gave her some more food, and she was happier then. And then she played in the camper for the last half hour we were there. And at some point, the Pope children joined her in the camper and decided that they were going to be hoarders. Literally every piece of food ended up in the cupboards of the camper, to the point where anytime you tried to open a door in the camper, food would fall out. And I asked Leo what he thought, and he said, I need more food.
Well, good kid.
They're little preppers.
Well, I was going to say I would hate to be the person who has to clean up after all of them, but I'm sure they have to wash all the toys at the end of the night anyway.
Yeah, so eventually we got, between the Pope kids and other kids there, they started to redistribute the food from the camper to the places it was supposed to go. But throughout the time while we were playing there, I would occasionally see workers walking around, picking stuff up off the floor, moving things from the restaurant to the vet's place because, oh, here, this vet's stuff ended up in the restaurant. Let's put it in the place where it's supposed to go. So occasionally they would be picking toys up.
God, I should work there. I could get paid to clean.
It would be your happy place.
Well, no. I mean, I feel like that's all I do. Just pick up toys.
I mean, that is all that we do. So Lily had a blast. We're going to be going back there on Thursday with Elliot this time. So he'll get to hang out in the infant area, I guess. I don't know. They have toys there, but I'll bring him some of his own toys too because he just likes shoving everything in his mouth. I also have a really adorable picture of Lily that's going to go in my blog post where she got a piece of pizza from the restaurant. And I said, here, let's go take it to Maggie. And she went and she took it to the boutique where Maggie was. But instead of handing the pizza to Maggie, and this is big wooden block pizza, it's thick with 3 C's.
Pan crust pizza.
Yes.
Chicago style.
So instead of handing the pizza to Maggie like I had intended, she sits on the floor of the boutique, puts the plate on her lap, and then pretends to actually eat a slice of the pizza. So she sticks it in her mouth and tries to take a bite. And I'm like, oh my goodness, child. What kind of diseases are you going to come home with? Because between Lily and not all of the kids, but half of the kids, it was put fake food in mouth. Lily licked the pretend ice cream cone 4 times, even though I told her 6 times not to do it.
Well, what do you expect?
It looked yummy. That was the important thing.
Well, she knows what ice cream is.
She does know what ice cream is, and she likes it a lot.
So Friday, Elliot woke us up at the crack of dawn.
It wasn't even the crack of dawn. It was before dawn.
Before dawn, yeah. At 4:30. He ate pretty much and went to sleep.
Yeah, he had his whole breakfast and went to sleep.
So he ate and went back to sleep. Caroline, however, did not.
I mean, I might have for a little bit, but my quality of sleep was not great because I only had maybe an hour-ish at that point before my alarm was going to go off.
I mean, you go to sleep at 10, so it wasn't...
It wasn't like I got 0 sleep, but I am a big fan of my sleep, and we had a weekend.
Well, a weekend to come, yeah.
Yeah.
Our kids, they like to sleep, so when they wake up, it's ugh. I know, I can hear all the parents yelling at the speakers.
You have it so good. We realize this. We love our children and would not trade them for anything, but we've gotten into our routine, and I don't like it when I don't get my full 12 hours of sleep a night.
It's not 12 hours. Oh my goodness. We're going to get hate mail.
When their kids get there almost 12 hours. Hey, there have been a few times where the kids have slept for 13 hours straight. And I'm like, are you okay? They're fine. They were just tired. They don't nap a whole lot during the day those nights that they sleep that long, but we get to get some stuff done before they wake up. So this was problematic because I was driving to Dayton that night and needed to then drive home from Dayton, but that did not seem like it was going to work out well. So instead, Elliot and myself spent the night at our friend Heather's house.
Yeah, originally you were going to go by yourself.
Yeah, originally it was just going to be me, and I was going to drive back that night. And then I was like, I do
It's
not.
probably, what, an hour?
It's almost an hour and a half. Well, it's
She
like
doesn't live in Dayton proper. She lives
in Farmersville, which is like Dayton country.
east.
Yeah, way east of Dayton.
Yeah. Northeast, maybe?
I don't remember. I have to
Or
look at it on a map.
just straight east. Just straight east, maybe.
It's the middle of nowhere.
Country roads, dark roads.
Yeah, so it's always a little nerve-wracking when I drive at night. So Heather is Hillary's sister, and typically when we go to if we do girls' nights at Heather's house and nobody's going to be spending the night, I am driving Hillary up and driving her home. So we have a buddy in the car who can help us stay awake, who can help point out landmarks. Because even with Google Maps, and Google Maps is very accurate as far as getting to and from her house, it's like no light ever. It's nice to have a friend. So Heather and Brigham were generous enough to let me spend the night in their house.
With Elliot. Just because if you didn't, you would have had to pump.
Yeah, and I just didn't want to have to do that if I didn't have to.
Well, yep.
It's easier to bring the kid with me than try to figure out what I'm going to do with all that milk. So we had a nice girls' night. We had lots of fun. I met a lot of new people, and we just talked and talked and talked. We were going to do nails, do facials, pamper ourselves. We just talked and drank wine. It was nice. What'd you guys do while I was gone? I know you ordered DoorDash because I got notifications about your DoorDash driver.
We picked it up. So your mom insisted that she wanted to pay for dinner, and I didn't really want to go anywhere. I wasn't super hungry, so I was like, usually when that happens, we end up getting Nick and Tom's, and we do salads.
Well, you do a salad. I do either salmon or a burger or something else. I mix it up.
All right, yeah. So you mix it up. When I go to Nick and Tom's, which is a local restaurant up the street, I usually get a chicken salad. It's a really fancy, super overpriced chicken salad, but it's my favorite. It's my favorite.
It is a pretty tasty salad.
But it's overpriced, so we don't do it too often. But I suggested it, and your mom and Larry were like, okay, it sounds interesting. So I introduced them to DoorDash, and we hacked into your account because I don't want to start an account. I hate doing DoorDash. It's too convenient.
It is.
Yeah. And they gouge you on the prices on all the charges and stuff. But yeah, it's too convenient. I don't like doing it, but with the pandemic, we did it a lot. Sorry, DoorDash people. They came to our house a lot. Well, I guess we tipped them. So
we did. We always tip.
I mean, they made money, so I guess they were happy, but it was too convenient, but we had to do it because pandemic. Your mom and Larry insisted on paying, and we had a coupon. I logged in, and there was a coupon code somewhere.
Oh, yeah. I got an email about that.
And it was for pickup, so you got 10% off if you decided to pick up, and Larry was willing to pick it up.
That's always the kicker. You have to find somebody willing to do the driving.
Even though it's like 5 minutes away. So he was willing to do it.
So you guys got DoorDash. I had girls' night with yummy chocolate cake.
Yeah, we just went through the daily routine. Lily watched Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. I put her to bed. Your mom and Larry went downstairs. I'm sure they watched TV or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I worked on the website / the podcast.
I drank lots of wine.
Mm-hmm. And I slept alone with the dogs. And they noticed that you were gone because they took up your spot.
See, I would like to file a complaint because the few amount of times that you have been out of the house overnight, the dogs are attached to me like glue. Zoe sleeps at the foot of my bed, like the foot of my side of the bed, per usual. And then Clara crams up against me.
Oh, she did. She's crammed up against your pillow, but against me.
No. This is like Clara is like all up in my business. And Zoe's still at my feet.
I feel like if we had to choose whose dog was who, Clara would be, since the pandemic at least, Clara would be considered my dog. And Zoe would be considered your dog.
Yeah, that would track.
Well, I mean, Zoe's kind of independent, I would argue. But Clara tends to follow me around more than you.
Yeah, so Zoe was supposed to be your dog. And that did not work out well because she just became attached to me.
But with the pandemic and me working at home, Clara follows me around. And if if I leave, she freaks out.
She gets very concerned that she does not have her buddy.
Yeah, which is problematic because I'm supposed to go into the office soon. So
Yeah.
that's a whole different conversation.
So yeah, you got to sleep in the bed with the dogs. I got to sleep in Heather's guest room with Elliot, which unfortunately their house is a Cape Cod. Their master bedroom's on the first floor, which meant I was on the very warm second floor. But they got the AC unit going, so it all worked out.
It's a window unit, right?
It was a window. Well, so it was a window unit to help along their central air.
Yeah.
Because they normally have the central air turned off in that upstairs room and forgot that I was spending the night. So we had to turn it on at the last minute, which Elliot appreciated because he would have been warm.
He doesn't like getting too warm.
He does not.
He's a February baby. Thank you very much. He does not appreciate Ohio or July in Ohio.
Yeah, I don't think he would like to live in Florida.
Yeah. He seems like a Denver person if he would have a choice.
Yeah, like, let's go somewhere cold, you guys.
In the mountains. Yeah. He's a mountain person.
Yeah, well,
He's gonna ski and be one of those people.
he was almost a true country boy because I had debated just putting him to bed in a diaper if it was still a little warm in there by the time I put him to bed. But he did okay.
Yeah. So Saturday, you woke up.
I woke up and I hung out with Elliot while I waited for everyone else in the house to wake up because I was like, I don't know what to do. What is the protocol?
Heather has some land.
She does, and she has some horses.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to wander around and try to get photos of Elliot with the horses, but she had her electric fence was on, and I was 95% sure of how to safely disconnect the electric fence so I could pass through with Elliot, but didn't want to risk anything with the baby. So I just took pictures of him by the trees, and we had a whole little mini photo shoot that did not go very well because he can't sit up on his own yet.
I think it went well. I mean, you still got a picture with him and a horse, right?
I did. That was afterwards.
Yeah. So then you stayed there for a little bit. Did you get breakfast, I guess?
Yes. I got breakfast.
You said you made cinnamon rolls, right?
Yes. I brought cinnamon rolls with me as an offering to please let me stay the night at your house so I don't have to drive in the dark when I'm really tired to get home. And it worked. Usually bribes work.
Yeah. And then we woke up. It was really funny because you texted me at 6:30, or was it 6?
It was like 6 o'clock that Elliot woke up.
You texted me at 6 o'clock saying that Elliot was up. And then about 30 minutes later, Lily woke up.
Yes. They're basically on the same schedule. It's pretty cute.
Yeah, unexpected. Lily usually sleeps in. She likes her sleep.
She really does. It's pretty funny because sometimes she will wake up in the morning and you're like, hey, Lily. And she just lays down and covers herself up with a blanket again. So you're like, okay, I'm just going to leave your door open. You let me know when you would like me to come in and acknowledge your existence. And about 10 minutes later, she'll start talking to you.
Yeah, and before that, before she gets to that, you can watch her and she goes to sleep with books. She has a bunch of board books. I mean, literally, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 bookshelves full of books.
Yes.
In this house, it's a small house. We have a lot of bookshelves and they're all full. And Lily is a reader, quote. She just looks at the pages like I was talking about earlier.
She's a better reader than Zoe, and that's the important thing.
Yeah, Zoe just destroys. So if she's not ready to get up, she'll just be quiet and look at her books and look at the pages, and eventually she'll start talking, which is when we go get her. So then you came home.
Yep, we made the drive back from Dayton so I could take a shower, pack the car up, and get ready to leave.
Yeah, we were invited to a party.
It was a Hawaiian Christmas in July.
Yeah, our friend really likes Christmas. That's like his favorite holiday. Well, it's not like his favorite holiday. It is his favorite holiday.
Yeah, I was going to say, he had one of his apartments, he had like 20-foot ceilings.
I think it was 12.
No, they were really, really high. And he got like a 12-foot Christmas tree. And he was like, well, I could have gone bigger, but then we wouldn't have had anywhere to stand in the living room. And it would have gotten too expensive.
Yeah, he did. He told that story. He got that apartment specifically so he could have a really big Christmas tree.
He was like, hun, think of the Christmas tree that I could put up here. And we were like, how did you get it in the elevator? he made it work.
Yeah, I don't know. He's funny.
So yeah, we hung out in their pool before all the crazies showed up. Or we were the crazies because we showed up early.
Well, before that, he was really disappointed because in 2020 he couldn't have his annual Christmas party.
Well, yeah, because it would have been a very poor decision to have 100+ people crammed in what ends up being their tiny condo when you put 100+ people in it.
I don't know if it's 100 plus, but
Like, they're not all there at the same time, but there are constantly people coming and going.
yeah, he has parties.
He does.
I think
he knows people.
I think we've talked about this before, but he knows people. He's in college. He was in a frat. Don't ask me what frat.
He participates in a lot of extracurricular activities. He's really good at making friends.
He is. He's a good guy, and he knows people, and he likes to invite a lot of people. But he couldn't have the party in 2020 because of COVID. He was really disappointed in that. Usually, he makes a big to-do. He has the Christmas tree. He has the lights. He has the beverages. He has his own mixed drink that he does,
he has
like a house drink.
He has their own specialty cocktails. Graham makes almost every dessert imaginable. The food is so good.
Yeah, and so he was super disappointed. So he's like, screw it, we're doing Christmas in July. Because I think a lot of people are doing that. I've been seeing that on Facebook a lot.
Typically you can
more
do it
than
outdoors.
usual. Yeah, more than usual. I think it's because the same thing. People kind of missed Christmas.
Yeah.
So he kind of commandeered his parents' house because his parents have a 2-story on a private drive, and they have a pool and a really big, a decent sized backyard. Probably an acre, maybe less, maybe more.
I don't know. I'm bad with distances.
Yeah, it's pretty big, but they have a pool, and so he was like, we're gonna do Christmas in July, where it's gonna be Hawaiian themed, and we're gonna roast a pig, and all this sounds awesome and wonderful. And I think he had like 25 cases of White Claw.
Yeah, he bought 25 cases of White Claw and a keg of Bell's Oberon,
which is like a wheat beer, like a really fancy Blue Moon, maybe.
Yeah.
That's how he described it. I don't know if that's super accurate. Bell's is a Michigan beer.
Correct.
Craft beer.
Yeah, so we swung by and visited with them for a bit before everyone else showed up.
Yeah, we were disappointed that we couldn't go to the actual party, which started at 3, and we kind of inserted ourselves at like 1:30.
Well, we attempted to help out with setup, and we probably got to talk to them more than we would have during the actual party itself. And the kids' nap time kind of kills everything.
Yeah, I think in his mind, we wouldn't have brought the kids. But
yeah.
It's not one of those parties where you bring kids.
No.
Because there's a lot of people there, and there's a lot of drinking, and stuff goes. People spend the night. Like they're planning to stay a while. So we didn't get to try the pig, which is super disappointed. We saw the pig.
It looked really yummy.
They had a legit
apple in its mouth.
Oh, did it?
Yep.
Yeah. So they had a legit pig, and a smoker, and he stayed up literally all night to smoke it with his dad.
Yeah. They put the pig on at midnight. He said he slept from like 3 o'clock in the morning to 9 o'clock in the morning. He did get a little bit of sleep.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we put the kids in the van so they could nap on the drive to Dayton to go to a different party.
Yeah, our friends Stephen and Hillary, who have been on this podcast, they purchased a brisket,
a 14-pound brisket
at Kroger in 2020.
He said it was on sale for like 75% off. Like it should have been $200, and he got it for $50.
He got it super cheap, and they have a chest freezer, and they stuck it in there, and they decided that they needed to clean that out, and they're like, what are we going to do with a 14-pound brisket? So
we have no way to cook this.
Yeah, they don't have a smoker. You can't really grill it. It's too big to put in the oven.
Well, he made it fit in the oven somehow.
Yeah, I don't know. So he decided to share the meat and invite himself over to our other friend's house and use her place to serve the food.
Yeah.
And that's not quite Dayton, but is it like Centerville?
It was Waynesville.
So not quite Dayton, but
it's like 45 minutes away instead of an hour away.
Yeah, pretty far north for us, which with kids, you have to be strategic about that. So we decided to leave from Brian's to our other friends, and that was going to be Lily's nap time.
Which it worked out. She did nap. It wasn't like the greatest nap ever because she wasn't super comfy, but she did nap. Elliot napped too, and then she ran around like a crazy person at her friend's house. Hopefully her dog found any of the carrots that she left behind.
Yeah, so they prepared a really good meal, potatoes. It was really good. And we chased Lily around, and then we drove home, watched The Bad Batch, and then we pretty much crashed. So now it's time for What's Bugging Caroline in Children's TV. So Caroline, what is bugging you in children's TV?
So we've officially made it to season 4 of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse on, what is this, like our 4th time watching through Mickey Mouse? 3rd?
I don't know.
I
thought it was
have no
3rd.
idea. I have lost count at this point.
You can tell it's a new voice actor.
Yes, season 4 is when there's a new Mickey because he sounds a lot higher pitched than seasons 1 through 3. So Mickey and Donald have a farm. Miska Mouska do. We sing that song a lot. It's adorable though. But there are lots of problematic things during this episode. Most of them involve a windmill. At one point there is a horse on the top of a barn. We're just not going to get into any of that. We will save that for Drunk Mickey Mouse Clubhouse with Caroline.
So it's our second podcast series.
This is our second podcast. This is our Patreon podcast series whenever we decide to do a Patreon.
Patreon.
So there is a storm coming, and in order to blow the storm away, because that of course is something that you can do, we are going to turn on this windmill, and the windmill is going to blow the storm away.
Well, before that, the windmill blew the animals away.
Again, we're not going to get into that because that's just even more problematic, but that's not how windmills work. Because windmills are powered by the air. They don't move the air moves them.
Not to mention they are...
And not to mention that you can't blow away a storm.
They're shorter than the clouds.
Yeah, by a lot.
I mean, I guess you could blow away the storm,
well,
but you would have to be like thousands of...
Okay.
60,000 feet in the air.
So for a while, I want to say this was like in 2018, 2019, probably before then though, because I'm really bad with time. There was a while where there were lots of Facebook events created for like natural disasters. Like we're going to all Care Bear stare away hurricane. We're going to all Care Bear stare away the storm. Or let's all shoot our guns into the storm to make it go away. Like these were all joke events. But I feel like at one point there actually was like a police press release or like a National Weather Service press release to like do not shoot into a storm. It's not going to make the storm go away because somebody did it and got hurt. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I have a feeling that it really did happen.
Friendly reminder, what goes up must come down.
Yeah, so...
You shoot a bullet in the air, it's going to come down.
Yeah, so that's not how windmills work, and I was very unhappy with that. I mean, there's also a horse on top of the barn, because earlier the windmill blew the horse on top of the weather vane. Again, subscribe to our Patreon to see Drunk Mickey Mouse Clubhouse with Caroline. You'll learn all about it then.
Is this something that I have to edit?
No. Maybe if people are interested, they'll ask about our Patreon, and then I can make it a thing. So, I noticed that you have an adult beverage in front of you. What you drinking?
I do have an adult beverage. It is called... We went to 13 Below the other day. And
that was on Sunday, which we'll talk about in next week's episode.
Okay, well...
Teaser
for next week. We went to 13 Below, which we haven't talked about at all during our 22-week podcasting adventure because they don't typically do packaging.
No, you have to go there and get a crowler, or you have to go get a growler. They don't even do crowlers.
Yeah. They don't do packaging. They don't do cans. So we went there because we have the tenants and they watch the kids. Actually, I didn't even watch the kids. The kids were napping. They were super easy, but more on that next week. So we went there and we discovered that they did cans and it was very exciting. So we bought a 4-pack and I am drinking a Submerged, which is their wit beer.
For the record, I ordered this beer before you did because I knew it was going to be good.
Yeah, and they had a Dunkel on draft. I'm like, I was torn.
I was also torn between the Dunkel.
They had a couple. Of beers.
So you got the stout.
I got the Dunkel first and then a stout.
No, you got the stout. Well, I got the wit beer and then you got the Dunkel. And I had been waffling between the wit beer and the Dunkel. And then you decided to get the Dunkel.
Well, all of their beer is good.
It is.
It's located on the west side of Cincinnati. Shout out to 13 Below.
It is the farthest west you can go from downtown Cincinnati and still be in Cincinnati city limits. Because the city of Cincinnati is shaped really, really weird.
Yeah.
Look at it on a map. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's on River Road or US 50. So we have to go down the hill to get there, but it's literally right there, and we don't go there enough, but they do really good beer.
And they are definitely in a floodplain. They have photos now of their brewer brewing at least checking on the beer.
They've been open a couple years, and they've been flooded at least once.
Well, they've been flooded bad at least once.
Yeah.
So they had to check the beer in the fermenters and be like, hey, you're just going to chill here because everything's underwater and you're fine just chilling in this fermenter. And once the water level goes down, then we'll sanitize everything and pull you out. But they have photos of them in waders. And I remember them showing videos of hey, this is what our front door looks like. We can get into the brewery, but you can't. We'll let you know when we can open. Waiting for the floodwaters to recede.
Yeah, but they do limited cans, which is exciting. It's super exciting when a brewery does distribute. Well, they don't distribute.
You can at least take it out of the tap room and get it further away than you could with the growler.
Yeah, the growlers are good, but it's kind of like a challenge, right? It's a gallon of beer. It's draft. You have to drink it before it goes bad.
Yeah.
Sometime with 2 kids, I mean, we can't drink a gallon of beer super quick.
No, it does not happen.
Yeah. So I usually end up drinking it, and it usually ends badly.
Well, because the second day it's all flat.
Yeah. So we got this wit beer. It's called Submerged. Super good. It's by 13 Below Brewery. It's on River Road, US 50. ABV is 4.7%. So not too high, not too low. So it's right in their sweet spot. IBU is 22%, and here's their description. Submerged is our wit beer, also known as a Belgian-style wheat ale. It has a nice golden color with a flavorful, moderate body profile, hints of orange, and a slight hop. So
it's tasty.
Yeah, perfect for a good summer day, which is what we've been experiencing here lately at the end of July.
I'm going to melt.
And what are you drinking?
So I am drinking another beer that is good for the summertime. It is a Pride and Passion Fruit. It's by Taft's Brewing Company. The ABV is 4.6%. The IBUs are 12. And the description is, this tropical and tangy concoction was crafted with over half a pound of pink guava and passion fruit per gallon. Celebrate Pride in the Queen City and across Ohio. So it is their beer for June, because June was Pride Month. And we picked this up in the tap room when we went to Taft's Brewporium a few weeks ago at this point. Was it even a few weeks ago? It's like a week and a half ago at this point, maybe, to celebrate Mom and Larry closing on their house. And Joe picked me up a 6-pack to make up for the hazelnut coffee beer that he drank.
The Maverick.
No. Oh, you did drink my Maverick.
They're going to redo it. I mean,
you owe me more Maverick. But this is a good substitute for the summer.
Oh my goodness.
I'll just take your credit card. I knew all your passwords. It's fine. So yeah, I'm really digging this beer. It was good for our afternoon walk.
Cheers to the weekend, and Lord help us in the week ahead, because starting tomorrow, we are going to have to do it all over again. More crazy adventures are ahead, and we will make sure to share them with you each week right here on the Craft Parenting Podcast. on to our main topic, which is Elliot is turning 6 months old. Can you believe that?
I am finding it very hard to believe that our little baby is not so much of a baby anymore. And like not crazy long ago, I was saying that about Lily, and now Lily is like a new word every other day.
What did she say today? She said toodaloo.
Oh, yeah.
Because we were watching Sesame Street, and at the end, Big Bird says toodaloo.
And we're like, say toodaloo, Lily. And she said toodaloo as she closed herself into her box. Like that box is taking up a good portion of our living room, but I don't want to get rid of it yet.
Yeah, so for the listeners, Stephen and Hillary brought over a box because they got a electric lawnmower, and it's as tall as I am, or as tall as you are.
It's like 4 feet.
It's huge, and it takes up a lot of space.
But Lily loves it.
She goes in there and closes the door, and she just chills in there and reads. It's funny.
So back to the main topic of this episode. Elliot, our other child, he was born February 13th, 2021 at 4:54 in the morning. Mama just needed some sleep. He was 8 pounds, 12.8 ounces. You got to give me that 0.8 because it is almost 13.
Okay, but it wasn't in my notes.
And 21 inches long. I mean, he wasn't like a huge baby, but he was big baby.
We decided to kick him out a week early. His due date was February 19th.
Yeah. So my blood pressure was starting to get sketchy. I was starting to get more worried about him aspirating meconium like Lily had. So partially to make sure that Elliot was okay and partially to not have to deal with me anymore, they decided to induce me so we could kick that kid out.
I mean, he made us go to triage 3 times.
So we went to triage 3 times where we thought we were not going to be going home. And then they sent us home. And I was like, if y'all send me to triage one more time.
You were 39 weeks at that point.
I am not leaving the hospital until you guys get this baby out of me. Like, not going to do it.
Yeah, Lily, we went twice to triage and we went home. And then the third time, of course, we had a kid.
Yeah.
So with Elliot, we went to triage 3 times and they sent us home.
3 times.
They sent us home 3 times. And then the 4th time, we decided to have a kid.
Well, the 4th time, the doctor decided we could have the kid.
Yeah.
So, fun fact, both of our kids were not only born on a weekend, but on a holiday weekend. Lily was born on the Sunday before Labor Day, and Elliot was born on the Saturday before President's Day. Also, like right before Valentine's Day. So happy he was not born on the 14th. He can get chocolate 2 days in a row. Or I can get chocolate because of him 2 days in a row.
Hey. But yeah, so that was very convenient. Thank you, kids, for not being born on a random Wednesday.
Yeah, it makes it easier to remember when they were born. Though it does make planning Lily's birthday party slightly harder because typically we have friends and family that do things Labor Day weekend.
Labor Day weekend is so diverse, though.
Yeah.
It can be September 1st or it can be September 10th.
No, more like the 7th.
Okay, the 7th. Yeah. So summer, that's so diverse.
Yeah.
As to when it is. There's events going on.
Yeah.
On Labor Day.
Can take people out of the city, so figuring out when to do party stuff can be hard. So Elliot is a COVID baby because all he has known is COVID life. We announced that we were pregnant with him at Lily's first birthday party. We had her walk in on a shirt that said, "My parents didn't practice social distancing. Big sister, February 2021, because we're super cool like that. Now, this was after she had had her cake smash and she had hung out with all of the family, but before she opened up her presents. It was like she got to spend most of the party being all about her, which was the plan. And I had 2 pretty different pregnancies.
Well, they're about 18 months apart first.
Oh, yeah. The kids are about 18 months apart. But I had 2 very different pregnancies. And now part of that could be because I had a girl and then I had a boy. Part of it could have just been my body already knew it was up and was like, we don't need to go through all this again. That's really what I'm hoping was the case. Because with Lily, there was so much stuff that I couldn't eat. And I was just getting sick all the time. I could eat Cheerios for breakfast, but if I tried to have some yogurt, my body was like, nope, don't want that yogurt. I couldn't eat.
Lily, by the way, loves yogurt.
Lily loves yogurt. It's hilarious. I still have some issues eating yogurt. I couldn't eat a lot of kinds of meat. Pork especially, or anything that was shredded, just was not appetizing to me, and I couldn't do it. So I did not eat pork for a long while. I could eat bacon, but like no barbecue, no pork chops.
Pork loin.
No, especially not pork loin. And then it was so dang on hot when I was pregnant with Lily.
She was born September 1st.
Yeah, so I had to go through all of the summer.
Ohio summer, especially August. Ohio August.
Ohio August is not fun, which is what we are experiencing almost now.
Seems like it. I mean, like humidity is awful
Yeah.
because we're by the Ohio River.
Fortunately, at that time, we had passes to the Y, so we just spent a lot of time in the pool. We did water aerobics 2 or 3 days a week at that point, which
I did. You floated.
which would consist of me doing about half of the activities and then floating for the other half of the activities towards the end of my pregnancy, and then really not wanting to get out of the pool, but hey, I really have to pee, so I do need to get out of the pool. But then with Elliot, it was a struggle to find clothes that would fit. Fortunately, you weren't going into the office, so I could wear your like long sleeve shirt and your winter coats, but even after a while, I couldn't get those to zip up anymore. So I didn't really have to worry about staying warm, because when you're pregnant, you're like always warm because you have more weight. It's harder to move around and you have this mini space heater in your belly.
Mm-hmm.
But like it got pretty cold sometimes. So I'd have to figure out how to keep at least my outer layer warm.
I mean, when you're 8 months pregnant in January,
Yeah.
I would imagine it would get sometimes cold.
Well, and after a while, my ankles started to swell again too, so it was harder to get my shoes on. And I couldn't just like go around in flats or sandals because it's cold outside. I don't want my toes to freeze off.
Oh, yeah.
But man, I got to cram my feet into these gym shoes. Though really, when you're pregnant, you want to stay in your gym shoes as much as possible to make sure that your feet don't grow, because the same...
Not medical advice.
Yeah, I'm not medical advice, but it's what helped me not have to go up a bunch of shoe sizes, I think. But yeah, with Elliot, I could eat most things. I mean, pork, I think I still had a few times where that was kind of iffy, but I didn't get sick. I could eat a whole bunch of food. I was just always tired. I mean, I was always tired when I was pregnant with Lily, but I could take a nap. But like, I legitimately fell asleep watching Sesame Street some evenings with Lily because I was just so tired. I just kind of jerk awake and Lily would be sitting next to me watching Sesame Street, and I was like, oh, I missed at least 20 minutes of that episode.
Which is okay because we'll just watch it again tomorrow.
Yep. And it's fine because the hubs is making dinner.
So now we're going to talk about his milestones because he's 6 months old and he's completely different.
He is. Like, I don't know if it's just because we're used to Lily, and over the last 6 months, Lily has made progress as far as her milestones go, but it's not as dramatic as him because he went from doing virtually nothing to interacting and smiling and laughing.
He's a wiggle butt. That's what he is.
He is such a wiggle butt. So he smiles so much. He's such a ham. He was like showing off for everybody at my girls' night, at the girls' night that I went to.
He's been to a couple girls' nights, by the way.
He has. They let him come in.
He's the life of the party.
He is. He giggles and they're adorable. He especially giggles whenever Big Sister gives him a hug. He thinks that's hilarious. She is starting to not do that as much now, though, because he has taken a liking to pulling her hair, just like he is taking a liking to pulling my hair.
Yeah, Lily at this stage did that, but he also rolls over.
He rolls all of the ways.
And he is trying his darndest to crawl.
Yeah, he can get his butt off the ground. He can get his chest off the ground, but he can't quite get them both off the ground at the same time yet. He's working on it. And he can kind of like scoot or fall forward closer to wherever it is he wants to go.
Yeah, and you mentioned earlier that he kind of sits up, but mostly he can't do that yet.
He can sit up with moderate support.
Yeah.
We're working on sitting up with mild support, but we're still a little ways away from that. And he can scream. It's mostly how he communicates.
Oh my God, he screams so much.
He wants so much attention.
You call him pterodactyl baby.
I do, because he sounds like a pterodactyl.
How you would think a pterodactyl sounds.
Tomato.
Yeah. Lucasfilm, IBM,
ILM.
You should hire him for the next Jurassic Park movie.
You should.
Ben Burt, where are you?
But so in addition to screaming, he coos. He's so cute when he does that.
Yeah, he does.
And he plays with lots of toys now. And he'll put 2 hands on the toy. He'll like bring toys to his midline. He's hitting all those important developmental milestones.
He touches his feet. Sometimes he even sucks on them.
I don't remember what, I want to say it was like maybe 3 months maybe it was even 4 months. At some point he discovered his feet, and like I comment like on his little milestone post, and I was like, and he recently discovered that his feet exists. And one of my friends was like, oh my goodness, that's hilarious. And I'm like, well, it's the truth. He did not realize that they were attached to his body, and then he found them. Just like his sister, he loves to watch TV. We don't encourage it, but if the TV's on 3 times out of 4, he's watching it. Like, oh, what's that?
And the dogs. Usually in the afternoon, usually when you get home, the dogs get excited and they start wrestling and running around the living room and family room, or family room and dining room, whatever these are called. And they go on the couch and stuff and they growl and bark. And he loves watching that and he giggles at them.
Oh yeah. So whenever I take him out to the backyard and the dogs start running around, he just giggles at them every time they get kind of close to him. He really likes to watch them, which I think is one of the reasons why I don't recall Lily being like this into I need to crawl somewhere. She was perfectly content rolling places. He doesn't mind rolling places, but he knows that he wants to crawl and he's frustrated that he can't do it because he wants to catch up with everyone else in the family.
I can tell he's definitely frustrated.
Yeah. He has a very strong grip.
He does.
Which my head does not appreciate.
Because he keeps grabbing your hair.
A lot.
And he also grabs your finger and he puts it in his mouth and he chomps on it. Because he's teething.
Yeah, he's working on something. Eventually it'll pop out, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, he did that to me just today. He grabbed my finger and he's like, arr, arr, arr. I'm like, nah, stop it.
Oh, I forgot to put some of that stuff on his gums before he went to bed. Oh, well, he's fine. I've got some teething gel.
Well, he also loves attention.
Yeah, he does not like being left alone. He would like to know that someone is with him at most times. It's problematic when you need to get something done with the other child. We make it work.
Yeah, he starts screaming. He's also not a fan of being warm.
I mean, he's a chunka monk, so...
He does have a lot of rolls on his thighs and...
his arms and
neck.
His neck. Yeah. He's just rolls on rolls on rolls.
He's a big kid.
Yeah, which is the opposite of Lily, because Lily was always lean. But we'll see what happens when he starts moving more.
Yeah. So he's definitely a February baby, and he prefers the cold. He doesn't like this, whatever this Ohio weather is in the summer.
Nope.
He's like Steven. He's perfectly content with winter. Winter all 12 months.
Yeah. And he does enjoy the pool, just like his big sister. He likes to float in the pool or just kind of exist in water, probably because it feels nice and cool.
Yeah, we were able to introduce him to the pool sooner than with Lily because of his birthday. Because with Lily, she was born in September and we had to wait.
Yeah.
Almost, what was that, 7-8 months?
Yeah, we had to wait a while because we had passes for the Y and they have an indoor pool, but we didn't want to bring Lily to the indoor pool because we didn't want her to get sick.
So he's had a couple of doctor's appointments. So what are his stats as of the most recent doctor appointment?
So at his most recent doctor's appointment, he was 26.25 inches and 17.5 pounds. I'd say he's probably closer to 27 or 27.5 inches and maybe 20 pounds. I didn't pop him on a scale today. I had debated doing that. He's a big baby. He's probably still in the 95th, if not 95th plus percentile.
I mean, my mom always said that myself, and my brother, we were off the charts.
Yeah. And as long as you stay proportionate, that's fine.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
So he's definitely getting there. He's pretty heavy. If you hold his pumpkin seat, I don't remember Lily being that heavy.
Yeah. Well, so on Thursday, when I saw the Popes, I got to hold Philip for a little bit while Bonnie took one of the kids to the bathroom.
And this is her 4th kid, who is a month older than...
younger.
A month younger than Elliot.
Yeah, so if Elliot's about to turn 6 months, he's about to turn 5 months old. And I handed Philip back, and I was like, this is so weird. My arm doesn't feel like it's going to fall off because he's so much lighter. He's a really cute kid, though. He's got really big eyes. So Elliot's big kid. We'll find out how much bigger he is here pretty soon. Well, almost a month. His doctor's appointment isn't until almost the end of August. So it'll be a hot second before he goes back.
How has Lily adjusted to being a big sister?
She's made some good progress and she's made some backwards progress.
In what ways?
So when we first brought Elliot home, Lily was all about helping change diapers and helping take care of him. And now she's just like, well, that's your job. I'm going to go over here and play. Like, I don't care that you're changing his diaper.
Not even play. She wants to read the books.
Well, yeah, she'll sit and read books.
Although today she was, quote, reading a book to baby brother.
Oh, yeah. She started to like turn pages and talk at us. We don't quite know what she's saying. I mean, she's going to end up reading her whole library to us at some point. So we just have to mentally prepare for that. But she now calls him Bubba very consistently. And it is so adorable.
It is. And we think she's trying to say brother, but she can't quite say the R sound.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, she does it consistently.
Yeah. So we're like, who's that? Bubba. Oh my goodness.
She-
You're so cute.
She says it pretty clearly too. It's not like she's not even trying to say the R sound, but we think she's trying to say brother.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We can definitely put Elliot on the floor a lot more than we used to be able to because she's a lot more gentle with him. She's still not super cognizant of where she is in relation to him because she did almost step on him once or twice today.
Oh boy.
But for the most part, she walks around him. So like if she's trying to get to me and he's on the floor between us, she will like sidestep around his head to then come see me. Be like, okay, you exist, but I'm ignoring you. And she gives him hugs, but her hugs are starting to become more violent. Not violent, more
aggressive.
strong.
Aggressive.
She has almost choked me a few times with love, but so we got to keep an eye on her with Elliot, but he just laughs and laughs anytime she gives him a hug. She gives him some kisses. She reads to him. She'll pull up a book and sit next to him. She's getting better about attempting to help me give him a bath when they take baths together, because for now we still do that. And we haven't really seen her get super jealous. She does want to spend time with us. And I think she's starting to maybe get jealous. She just doesn't quite know that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But like if Elliot is on my one leg, she wants to be on my other leg. Or if
Same
Elliot's
with me.
between my legs, she wants to try to shove him over to the side so she can sit on my leg without him being right up in her space. And then she's kind of getting protective over some of her toys. So if Elliot tries to grab something that she believes is hers, which for the most part it is stuff that is actually hers, because it's her pillow bed, it's her blanket. If he tries to grab it, because he literally grabs at everything, she's like, no, and will yank it away.
Yeah, we have to watch that for sure.
Yeah, it's cute, but not necessarily a desired trait that we want her to have.
So traveling, we took Elliot to Surfside Beach, or Myrtle Beach, back in May, and that was an interesting adventure. He was 3 months old back then.
Almost 3 months old. He wasn't even 3 months old yet.
He was not even 3 months old. So that was an interesting adventure. So we did an entire episode about that. So you can listen to episode 11 to hear all about that adventure and how that went.
Mm-hmm.
So he's had some experiences under his belt in his 6 months of life. We also take him to the zoo whenever we go or whenever you go.
Yeah, it's a bit too hot to go to the zoo right now, though. I don't know when the next time is going to be that we will be able to make it out there.
Right. But he's also been to Tasproporium, as far as he's been to. That's like the only brewery he's been to, maybe. Or maybe he's been to another one. I don't know.
I don't know. Have we like taken him to Brink or West Side, or I don't think
He's
we
definitely
have.
been in the parking lot.
He's at least been in the parking lot. I
Of
think
Brink.
he's like been into Brink to help me pick up beer, and then he's gone back out, but he hasn't been there to get a beer. That sounds like something I've probably done with him.
Yeah, well, Brink is small and they're still... Well, the last time we've been there, at least they had the plastic between seats and social distancing and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a small tap room, so we can't, and it's usually full because there's social distancing, so not a lot of seating. So we usually do to-go beers for that.
Yeah.
But he's been to Tasproporium. I feel like that's going to be a favorite because that's along the train tracks.
Yeah, we just have to go. I think maybe during the week there would be more trains going.
The train, they do a Train Tuesday.
Yes. And then mommy and daddy can get $1 off their beer if there's a train on the tracks closest to the brewery. I don't know how often that happens.
I don't know. I would assume if they call it Train Tuesday that
It's probably a busy day for the track.
it's more likely to happen, because you could also do the alliteration for Thursday.
Yeah.
I don't know the schedule. But when we go places, we typically put them in a side-by-side stroller, which is relatively new. Early on, we would have 2 strollers. Lily would have the umbrella stroller, and then he would have the big stroller.
Yeah, well, I was trying to figure out what kind of stroller I liked. And we got a sit-and stand from the neighbors across the street where Elliot can sit in the front and Lily can either sit or stand in the back.
But there's no protection.
Yeah, but so that's good if we're going to the pool, which isn't super far away. But if I'm taking Lily to the zoo, I need to be able to strap her in, especially when we're going through the parking lots, because she knows how to get in and out of the stroller, and I don't want her wandering around, unless if I want her to wander around.
Yeah, and kind of a future flag for us, where they're going to start poking each other, or at least Lily's going to start poking him. But Lily tends to like to spread her arms and legs onto Elliot and invade his space.
I was debating whether to get another front and back stroller where the back seat was an actual seat, or to get a side by side. And you said get a side by side so Lily isn't constantly kicking her little brother. Well, she doesn't constantly kick her little brother. She constantly jabs him with her elbow, takes his binky, takes his toy. She constantly terrorizes him.
Oh, he's going to have to learn to stand up for himself.
He's going to learn to stand up for himself. It's just hilarious because I'll look down and I'll be like, Lily, why do you have 2 binkies? Oh, because one of those binkies is still attached to baby brother's bib, but it's in your mouth now.
She does. She's hilarious with the binkies and obsessed with them too, because she will have 2 binkies in her mouth at one point. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that's excessive.
Like, we were starting to talk about taking away the binkies, and no, we can't do that because she just takes them from baby brother.
And baby brother compensates by sucking on his thumb.
Yep.
Just a whole nother issue.
Yep. So, but Elliot's made a lot of changes since he's been a little blob on the floor that kind of wiggles to now a roly-poly in everybody's business. No, you can't leave me behind.
Just screaming at you.
Yeah.
He does that a lot now.
Yeah. He's so big now. Literally and metaphorically.
He has a full head of hair, too. We didn't talk about the hair.
He has so much hair. Like,
I
probably need to give him
baby.
a trim, but I don't want to trim his hair. He can get his hair cut when Lily gets her haircut.
When is Lily getting her haircut?
Not anytime soon.
Good. So that's all about Elliot. He's adorable. Adorable little COVID baby.
Yeah.
Pretty soon we'll have 2 mobile kids. How do you feel about that?
I'm hopefully going to lose some weight running after them, but I don't know what I'm going to do when they run in opposite directions.
Maybe the dog will help.
Like they would do that.
So now it is time for Joe's Dad Joke of the Week. And are you ready for this?
I mean, I guess so.
All right. So
give the people what they want.
Yes, I will give the people what they want. So who's bigger? Mrs. Bigger, Mr. Bigger, or their baby?
Mr. Bigger?
Their baby, because he's a little bigger.
Oh my goodness. Where do you find these things? Why? How?
I do all the research.
Yes. Yes, you do.
Applause, damn it.
No. None for you.
That does it for this week's show. Thanks so much for listening. We want to hear from you. If you have ideas for a show topic, if you have comments about a previous show, maybe you really liked it, or you learned something new maybe, or perhaps you have constructive criticism. There are many ways to get in touch with us with this feedback. You can send us an email at craftparentingpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Craft Parenting Podcast to get get updates on when new episodes have dropped, see pictures of our adorable kids, and more.
If you like what you hear, please leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or your podcatcher of choice. Make sure to share the show with your friends, your family, your neighbor down the street. It helps our show grow. You can also send us stuff to our awesome P.O. Box.
And all of this information is available on our beautiful website, which is www.craftparentingpodcast.com. So go check it out.
That's where we post show notes. Plus, there are lots of blog posts about some of the stuff that doesn't make it in the show.
If you haven't already done so, make sure you subscribe to the show. We are listed on Apple Podcast, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and just about every podcast app out there. And with that, I'm Joe.
And I'm Caroline.
See you next time on the Craft Parenting Podcast. Okay, let's get this show on the road. Now we are beatboxers.
I'm just trying to figure out how to supplement our income so I can afford to go to Disney and write it off as a business expense. I need your help with this small task. All I'm asking is for you to help me get a job where we can make extra money to just spend all of our time in Disney. Is that too much to ask?
All you want to do is go to Florida.
I want to spend time in Florida, but not live in Florida.
There goes our one listener in Florida.
I have nothing against Florida. I just don't want to live there. It's too hot. I need snow.
I agree. It is really warm. Although Jacksonville is kind of up north. It's pretty much Georgia.
Okay, but Georgia's still pretty far south. So it's not exactly how this works.
All right.
But yeah.
Do we have enough? We have 6 pages. That's usually 6 pages is usually where we always end up.
Have you met Caroline?
All right, you can talk. So this is episode 22 of the Craft Parenting Podcast. So take it away.
What? Is that your way of saying to do the
countdown? Yes.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1?
No, wait. I'm supposed to do that.
I just wanted to see what you would do. Because I was waiting for you to count down, and then you didn't. So I was like, wait, if I do the countdown, will he say the thing? Do you talk first? Do I talk first? How do we do this? I mean, it's not like we've done this before.
22 times, and we can't figure our shit out.
No, at least 23, because we had that one episode that just died. The computer ate it.
Oh, well, that was, yeah, I mean, but we recorded it pretty much word for word, so.
The computer still ate it. It still counts. 5,
4, 3, 2.
Poop.
1.
This is the Craft Parenting Podcast. That was a really, just cut that. That was bad. I don't even know what that was.
What did we do this week?